Wyclef was the perfect person to do the remix.
Gone forever are the days when a hopeful young band recorded their first single and waited for it to enter the charts as they rode up and down the country in the back of a tatty van or their dad's car. By the time of Destiny's Child's first single for Columbia, No No No, their record company had already trailed their imminent arrival by putting their song Killing Time on the soundtrack of the blockbuster film Men in Black, starring Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones. The movie was one of the runaway successes of the year, and the soundtrack album found Destiny's Child in good company. Among the smooth grooves on offer were tunes from Snoop Doggy Dogg, A Tribe Called Quest, and De La Soul. For a band that had yet to prove themselves capable of shifting sails, this was obviously a good beginning. Columbia also arranged an appearance at Tower Records with Will Smith and a party afterwards at Planet Hollywood, where they were able to mingle with high-profile celebrities like Puff Daddy and Mary J. Blige. Thanks to the careful coaching given to each of them by Tina and Matthew Knowles, they behaved like seasoned professionals, showing maturity far beyond their ages. The fairy tale continued to unfold, and if anyone at Columbia was worried about how Destiny's Child's debut single and album would perform, there was no need for concern. They had already supported some of the best acts in the business and had been given a lot of sisterly support by female hip-hop act Sisters with Voices. Beyoncé told an interviewer that SWV had given them advice about pacing themselves and watching out for people who could be hurtful to their careers. It seemed that wherever Destiny's Child went, they were being watched over and guided. By the time they had released their first album, titled simply Destiny's Child, on February the 17th, 1998, the single No 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 had already gone platinum, and the remix by Wyclef Jean was a dance floor favourite in Europe and America. This could be seen as the first indication that whatever scene they entered, they always came out on top. With R&B emerging next to hip-hop as one of the most potent musical forms of the 90s, and with the British dance movement finally making waves thanks to artists like Madonna using British dance producers on her recordings, it was a formula that could hardly fail. And for Destiny's Child, with a song on a major movie soundtrack, a successful house remix by one of black music's best producers, and a platinum single having been at #1 in 3 leading charts, including Billboard, what could possibly go wrong? During the next few months, the band toured with Boyz II Men, while watching their album follow the single into the rarefied upper reaches of the Billboard chart, finally clocking in at 500,000 copies by June 1999. Their success was marred by the death of their long-term friend and mentor, Andretta Tillman, who had given them solid support when they were starting out. But this was a rare time of sadness among the joy of their sudden success. And there was more, so much more, to come. Following overwhelming acclaim at home came equally fervent enthusiasm in Europe, where they spent a week of each month that they toured. Fans everywhere came out in their thousands, packing stadiums and arenas wherever the group appeared. By Christmas 1998, Destiny's Child had played 13 dates in one 12-day period and had scooped 3 awards at the prestigious Soul Train Lady of Soul Awards, outshining their own peers and honoured veterans alike. They had eclipsed Erykah Badu, Janet Jackson, Mary J. Blige and Aretha Franklin with their astonishing catch of nominations. At the ceremony at the Santa Monica Civic Auditorium, they were voted Best New R&B, Soul and Rap Artist, and the single No 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 won them Best R&B Soul Single by a Group. Finally, their eponymous debut record scooped the top gong in the group category for Best R&B Soul Album. To confirm that they could match on stage what they had achieved in the recording studio, they went on to give a stunning performance in front of an audience of their peers, undisputed proof that they definitely were for real. In addition to all this, they'd been named by BRE magazine Best Group of the Year, and No 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 had come 12th in the Best Song of the Year rundown on the Billboard chart. This eclipsed by one place the hugely successful Celine Dion weepy from the movie Titanic, My Heart Will Go On. All this from a group of girls barely of legal age in the first year of their recording career. Not bad. While their first album played tribute in part to its R&B roots, its vocal arrangements looked boldly to the future. And with its preoccupations of youth and first love, Destiny's Child was suffused with bright and uplifting energy that came from the girls' freshness, close friendships, their faith and their strong family ties. In effect, it had taken 8 years to make, being the culmination of shared ambitions and fanatical hard work since the band's formation at the beginning of the decade. And now, with killer videos for the singles wowing MTV viewers, their presence was enhanced even further. There seemed to be nothing they couldn't do, and everything they did was exactly right. By contrast, their next record would take a mere 2.5 months to make, an extraordinary feat considering their exhausting workload. And any fears that Destiny's Child were one-hit wonders, to rise and fall like so many young bands, were soon squashed. Where the first album had established them as the new success story of 1998, 1999's The Writings on the Wall would consolidate their standing as artists, writers and performers beyond question. But the title was uncannily prescient, and as events unfolded, there was to be a split in the formerly idyllic world of Destiny's Child.